Jessica, and this is ATC Presents Daebak K-Rambles, where a couple of friends review Korean dramas. And if you notice, Rico is not here. He, as we said in the first episode, he has a new work schedule, and that has taken him away from a lot of free time and K-dramas especially. So 16 hours of television is not in the cards right now for Rico. Instead, I have a very special guest with me today. I have Caitlin from No Sleep for Dramas. Caitlin, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so glad that you're on and that you agreed to do a guest spot with me on a very special show, Something in the Rain. And before we get into the show, I just want to introduce you to the audience. We met on Instagram, and you've been such a great voice on there and such a great confidant. Like, we've talked a lot in the DMs and stuff. And it's such a great community, I feel like, that you've built and that I've built. And so it's just kind of like been like a nice intertwining over the few months that I've been on Instagram under the Daebak handle. And in an effort to like get to know you better real quick before we just get started into this review, maybe you want to give us a little bit of your K-drama taste and your background on K-drama.
Sure. I'm Caitlin, as she just said. I have been watching K-dramas for over 10 years now. I now watch all Asian dramas, but I started with K-dramas. My first K-drama was Boys Over Flowers, as of a lot of other people, which was back in like 2008, 2009, when I had to like track down 20 million YouTube clips and try to figure out what to watch in order. It was an interesting time back then. We were not blessed with Netflix and all that stuff now. I watched a lot of like, I've like transitioned from what I've liked. I'm really into like crime genres, due to I have a criminal justice background. So I like already am interested in that topic. So I always tend to go towards crime genres, but I'll try anything. I'm one of those people where I'll try anything. If I don't like it, I drop it. If I do like it, I'll keep watching it. And yeah. So I'm kind of one of those people where like, I don't know if I want to like it, but let's make Caitlin try and watch it and then see what she thinks. So.
And what is your favorite K-drama?
That's like the super hard question to ask. So recently, I really like, again, I'm in the crime drama, so I guess the recent ones that are my favorite are like Beyond Evil, which was very popular last year.
Yeah.
To name like a romance one that I really liked was Tale of Noctu, which I think was 2019.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, that was good. I was very surprised by that one because I didn't think I would like it. But,
was that a gender bender? I can't remember.
Yeah, but it was the guy being a girl.
Dressing as a girl. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God, these K-dramas. Okay. Well, before we get started, I'm going to do some housekeeping. If this is your first time listening, go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and so many more. And if you like us, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts. That goes such a long way for us doing more content and getting seen by more listeners like you. And lastly, come check us out on social media to stay up to date on our latest episodes and reviews. You can find us on the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ATC Daebak Pod. And if you're a fan, please consider becoming a patron. It's a great way for you to get involved and show your support. You can check out the page on patreon.com/alwayscriticpod. Okay, Caitlin, let's get started.
All right.
Okay, so for this, I guess I'll give you the honor. Do you want to read the Asian Wiki synopsis?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So the Asian Wiki synopsis for this drama was Yoon-jina is a single woman in her 30s. She works as a supervisor at a coffee company. Yoon-jina is a easygoing person, but she feels empty inside. Seo Joon-hee is a younger brother of her best friend Seo Kun-soon. He comes back to South Korea after finishing work abroad. Yoon-jina thought he was just a childish guy, but he appears different to her now.
All right. So this aired, Something in the Rain aired from March to May 2018. It's 16 episodes long. It was directed by An Pan-seok, and he also directed One Spring Night and Secret Affair. One Spring Night, I would say, is like the poor man's version of Something in the Rain. Like if you watch it after Something in the Rain, you're like, oh, it's oh. But then if you watch it before, I'm sure you feel like, oh, this is like so cool, like innovative. It's everything's kind of no. One Spring Night.
Have you seen Secret Affair?
I have not seen Secret Affair.
Oh,
did you?
God.
So you've seen it? Okay, good.
Oh yeah, it is chef's kiss. It is so good. If you're into like Nuna romance, cheating, scandal, really sexy drama, you should watch that one.
Holy crap. Okay, so good to know. It might go on my watch list or it might not. I won't say so that people don't shame me, but anyway. This Something in the Rain was written by Kim-eun, and she's only written 2 dramas, and one of them was One Spring Night. So you can tell she kind of has a nice working relationship with its director and has a certain style and flavor to her writing. It stars Son Ye-jin as Yoon-jina, and of course, we all know Son Ye-jin. She's everywhere right now because she is engaged to marry Hyunbin, and I think by the time this episode comes out, they'll probably be married. So, like, congratulations. Love her to death. She's amazing. I don't think she needs much of an introduction to a lot of listeners. Curious, what's your favorite, like, Son Ye-jin role that she's been in or drama?
Well, I'm currently watching her in 39.
Yes,
so
it's currently airing.
She's good. I haven't actually seen a lot of her dramas, honestly. I mean, she's done so many though. I could be forgetting too. So, I mean, obviously, Crash Landing on You. Everybody watched that one. It was great. It was fantastic. She was great in it. Let's see. What other ones have I watched? I've seen clips of Personal Taste. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was, I think, the first drama that I saw her in.
Yeah, and then Taste. I think I've also seen Secret Garden, but I don't remember, like, she's like was only a guest in it. So like I've really only seen, like, I haven't seen a lot of her older dramas. I've only seen her more recent ones.
Yeah, I definitely want to deep dive on Son Ye-jin at some point. Man of the Hour. This also stars Jung Hae-in as Sojuni, and he is basically like the it guy right now. I feel that loads of people are jumping on the bandwagon and trying to watch more of his dramas ever since he was in Snowdrop with Blackpink's Jisoo. He's fantastic. I think he's a great actor. He's been in Tune In for Love, which is with Kim Go-eun, and of course Snowdrop. And the other drama that was huge in 2021 was DP, which is fantastic. If you haven't watched DP, definitely give it a go. It's on Netflix. He also is in One Spring Night, but we won't talk about that. There's a host of supporting cast members. We'll mention them really fast. Gil Hae-yeon as Kim Mi-yeon, and she is the mother character in this show. She actually was just recently in The Silent Sea as Director Choi. She was like on the Space Force team, like real shady character. She was also in Law School, Beyond Evil, and Do You Like Brahms? So those are just some of her roles. She's been in a ton of stuff. We have Lee Joo-young as Lee-yeon, and she is part of the swag crew from Weightlifting Fairy, and she is a transgender character in Itaewon Class. So she has gone on to do really great things. We have So Jong-yeon as Jung Young-in, and she was recently Eung's mom in Our Beloved Summer. So she was like the marketing director in Something in the Rain. And then lastly, I feel like this is very important. Ye-jin is in this as well as Son Ye-jin's little brother. Of course, he was in Bad and Crazy. He made a name for himself in Squid Game. And if you want to watch him as a second male lead, you can watch Romance as a Bonus Book, but I wouldn't recommend it. We have all of that out of the way. So, Caitlin, please tell me, what did you think of Something in the Rain?
First off, going back to Jung Hae-in, just a fun fact about me. I never get second lead syndrome. Like, it is very rare that I do.
Yeah.
Jung Hae-jin is probably one of the only ones who have ever given me second lead syndrome, and that was in While You Were Sleeping. And that was my introduction to him, actually. I had not seen him before that. But oh my God, I had some serious SLS with that drama. So
I haven't watched that drama yet.
You need to.
There's a few years of K-drama that I just like stepped off, and I think that's one of those shows that aired and I was like, I'm taking a break.
That was me in like 2013 to 2017 type, because I didn't have access to internet or anything for those years. So.
Gosh, yeah, you can't just be like strolling up to like a red box at your supermarket and be like, I want to check out some K-drama today instead of like, I don't know, the latest Vin Diesel flick. No, it doesn't work like that. Like, this is such a niche. Right. Like, you need internet.
Exactly.
All right.
Going back to what you originally asked, what did I think? I have lots of thoughts about this drama.
We're here for this. Yes.
And I was surprised because I went into this drama knowing I wouldn't like certain aspects of it. And honestly, some of those I thought I wouldn't like, I actually end up liking. And then there was other ones that I did not foresee me not liking, or didn't even see it happening, because I had never seen this drama. This was a first watch for me. So some things I was predicting I would hate, I did not hate, or I didn't see coming. Other things I didn't see coming and I absolutely hated. So it was a mixed thing,
Mixed bag.
Yes. Yeah.
On the whole, do you feel like you liked the show, or do you feel like a little shaky about it?
I feel meh. It was in the middle. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So a little background on like why we're even doing Something in the Rain. For season 1, I was choosing shows and I got like really immersed in what people are saying about certain shows, because now I'm on social media dedicated to like K-drama, and I was shocked to find out that people disliked Something in the Rain. I was like, oh my God, like there's actual hate for the show. And so I was like, we have to cover it on the podcast, because like, what am I going to do? Like I have to like air my grievances essentially. And so I'm so glad that you have mixed feelings about it, because we can totally get into it. This is my second watch for Something in the Rain. And the first watch, loved it. Like, I love the show. I love the couple especially. I felt that they were just so mesmerizing to watch on the screen. And the problem with the show is that like these are completely flawed characters, and it's a flawed female lead. She makes a wrong choice over and over and over again. And it sabotages her love life, like this relationship with Jung Hae-in's character. Not to mention, her mother is like a menace. Like I like, if I see that woman on the street, like it's on sight, I will like fly at her. I just hate her. And I'm one of those people that's pretty chill when it comes to like villains. Like I'm not like, oh, I hate this actor because they played this villain once. I'm like, no, like that was a pretty good role for them. They did really well. But in this case, like, no, if I see her, like earrings are coming off, like shoes, like it's going to be a tussle, because I hate this woman so much. I hate that character so much. It's like like it makes me so livid. Like I'm getting hot right now just talking about it. Overheated. And then the workplace sexual harassment subplot is also gets so out of hand in the show as well. Right. Which I think throws a lot of people off, because they're coming in for like Something in the Rain, like, oh, like a romance. And then it's very heavy on this frustrating storyline.
Right. Yeah.
All that being said, I liked the show on second watch, but I didn't love the show on second watch. I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best show I've ever seen, which is my initial reaction to it.
Right.
So those are my general thoughts, like without getting too much into spoiler territory. But were there any parts of the show that really excited you, and that you mentioned like some parts you didn't think you were going to like and then you ended up liking, and vice versa?
So I knew going into this drama, I'm not good on the slow burn romances. I've never been good with that. And I knew with Something in the Rain and One Spring Night, it's an extremely slow burn.
Yep.
Which surprised me because that was one of my favorite parts of this drama, was the romance and the slow burn of that. So that definitely was my favorite part, was the romance itself and the realistic view up to a certain point, like episodes 1 through 8 or 9, around that.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved the romance. Like, whatever. I have issues with the latter half. But again, that surprised me because I thought I wouldn't like it due to it being a very slow burn.
Yeah.
So.
I think that puts off people a lot of times when stories just take their time developing, and it's a slow burn, like, for sure. I'm not here to say this is a very fast romance and the pacing is, very streamlined. Like, no, it takes its time.
Right.
It lets you linger in the emotions. And something that I felt the first time and I feel strongly this time is that the way that Something in the Rain is shot, and the way, not just cinematography, but just like the timing of shots, the editing of shots, it is unobtrusive. The way that it honestly just like hangs back, the camera hangs back and lets them like continue with what they're doing. There's a lot of long takes, a lot of like, I don't know if they're supposed to be ending the shot right now, because I feel like it's almost voyeuristic. Like, we're not supposed to be watching this. It is so intimate. And I just absolutely feel like that can kind of make people uncomfortable when they're watching something that is either so beautiful that you're like, oh my God, I can't, I have to look away, or it's so uncomfortable and sad that I have to look away. The shooting style was always from afar, and it felt like we were catching private moments versus like a polished presentation of like a K-drama with like the typical shots and the typical beats and all that stuff. So that was a major plus for me.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and it's interesting too, because when you mentioned like the voyeurism and stuff, there's a lot of shots that are also through like narrow spaces. So one thing that was like I noticed was not necessarily emulating what the characters were feeling in those emotions, but to an extent, yeah, like there was some shots through windows, there were some shots where if the characters felt more free or more open, it was a bigger space, whereas if it was like a contentious part, seemed smaller. I also noticed something about the color of the umbrellas that, and my interpretation, and this might just be my crazy interpretation, but I interpreted something with the color of the umbrellas depending on where they were in the story. But it just been me overthinking stuff. This is me.
This is not you overthinking. We're totally going to talk about the umbrellas in the spoiler section, and then it's not even in my notes, guys. Like, this is just, my mouth was agape because I never thought that the color of the umbrellas was like a deeper meaning, but it is. It totally is. We can talk real fast about the score and about the lack of like goat noises and like hokey aspects of like usual K-dramas and especially rom-coms. This is like a whole new world here. There is very little score. There is very atmospheric OST, and mostly in English.
Right.
Barely anything. I didn't catch anything in Korean, but I'm sure there was something. Sung in Korean.
No, it was all in English. It was all
okay,
English.
So literally everything that you're hearing on the OST is in English, which again is a huge departure from other K-dramas, not just like K-dramas in this genre, like no, K-dramas period. For usually you have like one or two things in English or lines in English, just like any other K-pop song, for instance. But Something in the Rain was, I love this OST to pieces, almost more than the show itself, because it is so emotional and follows their story so closely. And even when you're listening to like the sad song, quote unquote, in the beginning of the show during episodes 1 through 8 or so, when everything is fine, you feel this melancholy spirit in the song and in the OST. And I kind of feel like because the OST is so sad, bittersweet, that you kind of get the sense that maybe this isn't going to end the way I want it to.
Right. Yeah. I will say, though, I got annoyed by the OSTs by the end.
They overused it. They did.
Like, they only have 4 songs to choose, and I prefer Korean language OSTs. I don't mind if that somebody uses like 1 or 2, but it really threw me off personally that there was no Korean lyrics in this.
It's different. It's different.
But so I think I got even more annoyed that there was only 4 songs that they kept rotating. So like by the time of the end, it's like I can never hear this song ever again.
So I totally understand where you're coming from because they did overuse the songs. Although I still feel like I can listen to these songs. The equivalent movie that I can think of that did this, where they like overused the songs, and now I can't listen to the OST ever, is Top Gun. So you have like Highway to the Danger Zone, like that song, and then you have Take My Breath Away over and over and over and over again, and it's a joke. Like I can't listen to these songs in real life.
Right. Yeah. But I do agree. It did fit the emotional, like what was happening in the scene. It was a good fit. It's just the fact that they only had 4 songs. Like if they had done like 6, it would have been to have more rotation and whatever. But
I agree. It was a small sampling that they had in the show. And I'll tell you, the Stand By Your Man, whenever that was like dropped in, like the one by Tammy Wynette, it just kind of that one almost didn't fit because it was like this like country twang in there. And you're just like, what?
But also like I got mad at the lyrics of that song. I'm just
Stand By Your Man.
Yeah, I'm just like, seriously, no, you run away from somebody you're describing in this song.
You're absolutely right. Like the lyrics kind of the Stand By Your Man needle drop, which was not created for the show, it was a little bit like jarring and just not, the lyrics aren't quite like one for one with the show. Was there anything else that you feel, what were the worst parts of the show for you?
So, I mean, definitely what you named before was the mother figure. I absolutely hated the character. I absolutely did. It says a lot when you prefer the toxic boyfriend over her. Ooh. Like that's me at this moment. Like I would have rather had the boyfriend be the issue through the entire drama than her. But again, like you knew she would be a problem by like the first scene she was in episode 1. So I was mad, but I was like, okay, this is not the thing I hated the most about this drama because I was expecting it. I knew it would get really bad. Same with the boyfriend. Like I didn't think it would go as far as it did, but
we could talk about that.
Yeah. But again, I knew he would be a problem. There were other things in the second half of this drama that I didn't expect, and so I got really mad at. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
So.
Say no more because we're actually, you know what? Actually, we'll give our scores and then we'll go straight into spoilers. So, what would you give this show out of 5 soju bottles?
2.5.
2.5 soju bottles. Oh my God, that is way less than I was expecting you to give the show. Oh God, for me, I think it would have to be 3.5. Mostly because this is like a huge like thing about me. I don't like rewatching things. Even K-dramas, like once I hit it, I'm gone. Like I don't like to return to it.
Right.
And so I know on my blog I put like a rewatch value, which is really tough for me to even put because I don't like rewatching things. Like I've rewatched shows maybe a handful of times. in my like all these years of watching K-drama,
Same.
this is the first time that I'm like forcing myself to return to something after having such strong, good feelings about it. And I would have to give it 3.5. 3.5. And
So when, can I ask a question? Like, what did you watch this when it aired, like back in 2018, or like did you like watch this last year?
No, I watched it a few years ago, and I could probably give you the date based on like the review that I posted on the blog, but it did not air. I did not watch it as it was airing. I watched it after the fact. It had landed on Netflix. I watched it on Netflix.
Right.
So I want to say it was like 2018, maybe, when I watched it.
Because it is a 2018 drama, but like the reason I'm asking is because I'm in my 30s now, so I was watching as a perspective of somebody in her 30s. I think if I would have watched this 5 years ago, maybe even 7, 8 years ago, I probably would have had a higher score. But
this is
maybe I'm cynical now that I'm older. This is
a great point, because I watched it when I was in my 20s. I'm 30 now. And I totally feel like I have a different perspective than when I first watched this show, especially when it comes to the parental interference and when it comes to the workplace harassment. Because at the time, I had never gone through something remotely as good as terrible as what she went through. And sitting here now, like I can honestly say that it rings a little different for me now.
Right. Yeah.
And the way that she handles that situation, I have a little more grace for it now.
Right.
Than when I first watched it, where I was like, yeah, she should have just like turned tail and gone to the US with Junie. But we can talk about that more in spoilers, because I feel like when I watched it first, you can read my thoughts obviously online, but like I was a little more harsh on her than I am now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Even though she's still not making great decisions.
Oh, yeah, totally.
No.
Totally. Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, we have 2.5 soju bottles and 3.5 soju bottles. We're going to go into spoilers right after this.
Excuse me, 뭐라고?
괜찮아.
You know, I have no tingle. Oh, sorry.
Swear, disgusting shit.
What?
Okay, so we're going to talk spoilers for Something in the Rain right now. If you have not watched Something in the Rain, I encourage you to go and watch the show, or if you don't care, let's get to it. Where do you want to start? I think you mentioned the umbrellas. I want to touch on the umbrellas right away. Tell me what you thought of the umbrella color.
So, I mean, I think the umbrella colors really were symbolizing what they felt in their relationship, like where they thought they were. So like the first one, like the most significant one, which you see throughout the drama, was red. So like anytime you saw that red color, it was like either they themselves were like, I cannot get in this relationship. Like for instance, with Jinna, he's my brother's younger friend. Like, there's no way I can date him, blah, blah, blah. Or when it came to the family, like anytime you saw the red, it was a no-go. And then they pulled out the green when everybody found out. And they had that beautiful scene of in the rain, like him carrying her through the rain, just enjoying themselves in the green. And then obviously the last umbrella at the end was yellow, where in my mind it was like, okay, like they both, like it's been a couple years, they both have not really moved on, but moved on, quote unquote. And so it gave kind of an ambiguous ending in terms of the color, where like we could cautionary go forward and date again, or we might just not date, and I don't know, but that was my interpretation of the colors of the umbrellas.
I like that. I think when you said I have thoughts on the umbrella color, I was thinking of it totally different. So here's my interpretation in the 5 seconds that I've had to think about this, is that the red color was just not indicative of like red light stop, more like red, color of passion, color of love, color of,
Right.
you know, just passion. And when they get the green umbrella, it's more like rebirth and more natural and less passion. And it's just kind of like a cooling of their love.
Right.
And then the yellow is more of like yellow, maybe we can go, maybe we can't. And it is sort of like closer to your interpretation of it. And the umbrellas. Let's talk about the rain, because I feel like in my initial watch a few years ago, I didn't pay too much attention to the rain. And it's called Something in the Rain. So on this watch, I was very attuned to the rain. And whenever there was like such an emotional part of the show where you almost like can't take it anymore, it would rain.
Right.
And I felt like it was almost like a moment of catharsis for them to feel these emotions running over them and running through them, that the rain was very much part of that. And it reminded them of their love when they first got the red umbrella, and then it reminded them of their green umbrella times, and then finally they're trying to decide, like, do we do this again or do we not? And you know, how do we navigate these waters in a more mature manner versus all of these emotions, right, that are just overwhelming.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I think also it's like, I think more of a literal interpretation of the title is a lot of their relationship ironically happened in the rain. Like either like they had, like, she was going over his place in the rain and he would like find her at his door, or he would do the same thing, or as we just described with the green umbrella, they had this whole romantic scene in the rain. I think just they had a lot of moments of their relationship literally in the rain.
Yeah.
Whether that's like arguing or being in love or having fun or being stuck under a like storefront, whatever you call that thing, tent thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very literal interpretation of it.
And now that I'm talking out loud about the rain, I also feel kind of like that the rain is representative of all the issues and problems and roadblocks that they encounter, and still they're out in the rain.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's very poetic and beautiful. And of course, it does really nice things for the cinematography of the show. But I think ultimately a lot of dramas, when you see rain, it's a bad thing, right? Like, oh crap, it's raining. Like, we have to get out of the rain. We need an umbrella. We need XYZ. It like ruins like their day. And in this case, it doesn't.
I would say that depends on the genre.
You know what? It does. but on the romance genre, I guess I'll narrow it down. On the romance
drama, I would say,
yeah.
In crime drama, it's definitely a bad thing when you see rain.
You're like, no, the crime scene.
Pretty much.
I just generally like that you can interpret it any way you like. But I feel like the best title is Something in the Rain. I know that some people refer to the show as Pretty Nuna Who Buys Me Food.
Yes, I did. I remember something when it was like announced that this was going to happen. I remember that was the original title, and then they changed it. It still makes sense.
It makes total sense. That's literal.
She does buy him a lot of food in the drama.
Yeah, they're constantly eating.
Yeah. So
I just like the title Something in the Rain way more now than when I first watched the show.
Right.
So you do like this couple though? Like, that's positive.
Oh yeah, okay. That I definitely enjoyed. I think it also, given the latter half, it was a nice reprieve to see them when they were having some nice moments in the latter half. I mean, the latter half did not have some nice moments, but like when they were being the cutesy couple moments, it was a nice reprieve from all the drama that was going on. And even in the first part, like one of the first parts, even though it was a slow part and the slow romance and whatever, it was nice to see because there was some issues already stirring within the first half of the drama with some characters and everything. So it was nice to see. It was a nice reprieve from all the drama that the writer brought on them.
I think some dramas, especially romance dramas, you're like, I don't believe this couple at all. Like they're beautiful people, but like you can't just smash two people together and be like, yeah, that's chemistry. Like, no, babe. This show really, I mean, this is like a made to be together kind of couple. They sell you on it. They are adorable with each other. They're eager to be around each other. And it's one of those where I'm like, yeah, I'd ship them in real life if it wasn't for Hyunbin, because they look so good together. They match well together. They cherish each other, especially him cherishing her because she has so much confidence and self-esteem issues. And, you know, him loving her really pushes her through that and makes her realize that she should take better care of herself. Right. Which is really like profound, right? Like when you just think of that one arc for her, it's a great arc. Like not a lot of dramas really cover self-love and like how one person's love can impact you in such a way for you to just turn your whole personality around.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess it's time, because we could be here all day talking about how great their relationship is and how great this couple is. But like, let's talk about the issues, and we'll go with the mom first. So the mom is such a hypocrite.
Yes.
She smiles and tells this abandoned, orphaned siblings that they're family, that they're welcome, and I'll make you food anytime you want, and is like, you know, totally making them think that they are welcome and that they don't have anything to be ashamed of. On the other hand, she tells her family a whole different story. She feels bad for them, pities them, because she knows they'll never be welcomed into their eventual in-laws' family. They have no family of their own, and that's a huge blight on their record. Jun is out of of the brothers league. Like, this is before even she finds out that he's dating Son Ye-jin, and like she tells the brother that he should cut ties with him because he's a hack in a different class than he is, that he's getting his PhD, and like what has he done? He's only gone to art school, and he's only a video game developer, and he's only a graphic artist. Like, he's nobody. So I think the quote is, from now on, you should try to befriend only those who can benefit you in the future. Right.
Yeah. And it's not even like stopping with the kids either. Like, it's just everybody, including her husband. Mm-hmm. It's just, yeah.
Yeah. She blames her husband for retiring early, and now she has no clout.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man. I hate this mom. I think that even when I'm watching it on the second round, I'm like, she can't get any worse than she is right now. Oh my God. Guys, this is like the worst mom I've ever seen on screen.
Oh yeah. Like, I've watched daily dramas where like daily 30-minute like makjang, all the moms are horrible, and this is probably this could spar with some of them and win. Like, yeah, it would be different if it was like, I think the juxtaposition where this woman turned really horrible, because again, the first 8 episodes you could tell it was coming to something.
She's terrible.
It was bad. It got worse though. I think that's the problem I had. It's like, as you said, like, you don't think she could have gotten worse, and then she does. And the one thing I do love about this writer, though, is she didn't try to give her a redemption arc.
No.
Like, she was bad until the very end, which I liked.
Oh my God. She kept having the worst possible reactions, and there was no saving her. She like overtly ignores them. She tries to like fight her daughter on multiple occasions. She's like lunging at Gina, and what's keeping them apart is like just the brother in between them, the dad in between them, and like there is no stopping her. She's like a freight train, just trying her best to derail their relationship. Right. And no amount of seeing her daughter so hurt, so frustrated, so angry, forlorn, no amount of seeing Junie defeated, deflated, forlorn. It is making her rethink her tactics. She is
right,
like making it even worse. And on multiple occasions, she's like, watch me go even further. Keep doing what you're doing and I'll make it worse.
Right. Like, because she didn't see her kids as people.
No.
She saw them as property. She saw them as a way to, whether it was to get her own selfish prestige up or her just family in general. Like, she didn't see the people or the connections as actual people. And that, I mean, again, as I said, it was like, it was consistent till the very end.
For her, it was a shock. It was a shock that even these siblings even thought that they could do this and be aligned with their family through marriage or what have you. That why she was like offended at the thought that they thought they were good enough for her family.
Right. And this wasn't even, I mean, again, with the consistency of her character too, like it didn't even stop at just romantic relationship. As you said, it was like friendships. It was college people that her son needed to get to know. It was where you work. It was like who you talk to. It was the job in general, like the job title in general. And you'd think like after like at the very end, there was a time jump. So at the very end, you saw that the younger brother had gotten married, that he was either a doctor or like graduated with a doctor degree. I can't remember.
I don't even know what his degree was in. Like engineering, I think maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like he got a prestigious degree. He was basically following what his mom dreamed to do. And you could still tell that, like, she was not going to be happy. She wasn't going to be happy with whatever her son was going to do. Definitely not happy with what her daughter was going to do. Which I found funny because in this whole, you'd think she'd care more about what her son was doing.
Right.
Just given the cultural aspect of what, like a patriarchal society is, like they care about what their sons are doing. Like they are the ones that inherit everything. So you'd think this woman would be more bothered throughout this drama with what her son was doing. And it didn't seem like, I mean, obviously because Jinna was the main character and like she could probably see it as it's going to tarnish her brother's reputation in the long run if she goes about with this relationship or whatever job she's done. But Jinna was the older sibling, so maybe that was a part too. But you'd think she would be like, okay, I don't really care about the daughter because she's the daughter. I'm going to make sure my son... And she did not leave her son alone by any means at all.
And that was the thing too, is that they kind of just got railroaded. I mean, both of them. Yeah. Both siblings, Jinna and her little brother, they both got railroaded into doing... probably careers that they didn't like, meeting people they didn't like, dating people they hated. And it was because of their mom's influence. The brother at one point says, mom is not the type to let her children have their way. Which again, like, I can understand certain aspects of your life being under criticism, but not every single decision that you make being not yours.
Right. And I loved when her son... when she was going to run out in the rain to like pull them apart again in the second half, when her son basically did this huge argument speech
this was great.
thing.
I think this was like 11, 12, like episodes 11.
Yeah, 11 and 12. And I loved him for it. Because at that time I was like, okay, I like the brother. I didn't like his reaction to the relationship, but he grew on me.
Yeah.
I was the opposite with the father, but we can get to that later.
Oh, yes.
But I loved that because you could tell that, like, yeah, he was totally sick of his mom and how she reacted to not only the relationship, but just everything in general. But and he didn't, and he said it in the way that it wasn't like me. He said it in the way it was like, I'm supporting Jinna and my sister in this relationship. But you have to know that this is what it has done to me, to this extreme of me attempting suicide multiple times.
That was
in college. because of your pressure and how you run your household.
Excuse me. Yes. I completely agree with you. That episode where he jumps out and like berates the mom for being abusive. That's the first time she's ever heard that she's abusive.
Right.
He gives this great speech that her constant pushing is causing Jinna emotional damage, emotional stress, that her interference is only strengthening their relationship, that he like either he was suicidal or he tried to commit suicide twice in his younger years. And that she could be pushing Jinna to do the same thing, to end her life because it is so relentless, the abuse.
Right. Yeah. And I think she didn't think, like, I don't think, I mean, I'm assuming a lot of people might assume this if they aren't. Like, I think she interpreted that if she wasn't physically touching her kids, she wasn't abusing them. So I think it's like the fact that she had, I don't know if she realized anything about after he made this whole argument speech. Probably not, because she was that much of a narcissist. But I think that was the first time someone, as you said, like called her out on being abusive. And she didn't think that there could be detrimental emotional trauma to how she was raising her kids. And because she never, I mean, I wouldn't say never physically hit anybody, because she did in this drama, but it was like, I don't think she interpreted that as abuse because it wasn't physical.
Yeah, he also tells her to take a good hard look at her own kids and realize that people look down on them the same way that she looks down on everybody else. That what makes them so special.
Right.
And she's like completely taken aback. It's great. She does kind of hang back for maybe an episode or two from like trying to actively implode their relationship, but it doesn't have the effect, I feel like, that the brother wanted, right? The brother wanted her to come to her senses.
We wanted
as well. Like, your son just told you that you are the reason why he almost took his own life. You are so terrible. And she doesn't fix her ways. She's just like, how could you possibly think of doing that? How could you, like, they don't understand. Her mindset is they don't understand me and why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for them. Like, she continually is like trying to convince herself that everything she's doing is for the benefit of her children, and it's not the case at all.
Right. Exactly.
Terrible. Yeah. Let's talk about the dad real quick before we jump into all the workplace stuff. Yeah. So you said that you liked him kind of earlier in the show and then it changed.
Yeah. So it was kind of like the same with the brother. Like, I liked, of course, the brother had a predictable reaction to when he found out the relationship. Of course he was going to be a little like, seriously, you're dating my sister? Like, do you realize how problematic that is? But he came around. I mean, as we were just saying, when he yelled at his mom and everything, like, he came around. He was supportive and whatever. The dad was the same way. The dad found out about it. I loved his relationship with his daughter in letting her, like, waiting for her to tell him, like, being supportive when he could, kind of behind the scenes. But then he wasn't. Like, and I don't know if it was just because his wife was just such a presence and just so railroading of everybody that he, like, just could not fully break away and make his support of this relationship fully announced. But by the end, he kind of cowered in the corner again and was like, you need to listen to your mother type thing. And I didn't like that. I wanted him to continue. I don't know if I really wanted him to fully make that break. And we have one parent who was completely against it, and then him who was completely for it, which I thought that's where it was going, because that was how it led up to. Yeah. But then eventually he kind of just, and maybe it was just a writer kind of not finishing that storyline, and kind of that was just how it naturally went about too. But I did not like the fact that he just kind of went and cowered in the corner, and because the mother became so horrible, he like never spoke up again after like episode 11 or 12.
It's hard to say if it's a writing flaw or if it's because the dad, I feel like the logical break for the couple, right? Because it's a married couple. You kind of understand them as like a unit, except she's off the rails. My thinking is that the logical ending for them is to just split up.
Right.
Like, is to just divorce, because they are on such opposite extremes, such opposite ends. They don't agree with each other. She almost can't even stand to be in the same room with him. She belittles him all the time. He feels undervalued. He feels emasculated. And even though a strong woman isn't cause for emasculation, she really does put him down and just respect him all the time, consistently.
Right.
And
even her looking at his like the back of his head, like like there's some scenes where she's like walking behind the couch and he's on the couch, like, and from an audience point of view, you clearly obviously can see her, and like she's just glaring at him, like judging him just by his gaze.
Yeah.
Like, who would want to live in that environment?
It's toxic. Like, she's toxic. And to me, the only way that he could fully support his daughter was to basically separate from his wife, because she was unstoppable. She was outrageous. She was unreasonable.
Right.
And if you cannot, stop her, then maybe you can support your daughter independently.
Right. And I mean, I feel like that's what I really wanted. I really wanted them to be divorced because I did like him. I wanted him to have at least a content life. Mm-hmm. He's retired, whatever. Like, he doesn't need to be married other than like what society views as a good life. So it's just like, I just did not like how his story arc ended up by the end. Because even on the very last episode, he didn't really support his daughter when she made the decision to move away and go to Jeju Island. Like, it was a complete 180 from what his character was at the beginning of the show, right, when he found out about the relationship.
And the only thing that I can also come to the conclusion to is that he ultimately believed the same bullshit that the wife did, is that they were so conservative and so traditional and so focused on climbing the social ladder that like he also believed all that shit. Right. And that's why he never truly 100% supported Jinna.
Right.
Which is really sad, because you did get that glimpse of like, oh, he sees the light. Like, he understands her struggle. He's sympathetic to her plight. And he knows that his wife is wrong.
Right. Right.
And still he's like, I don't agree.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so the dad was very disappointing as well. The most of the male figures in here are terrible, and we're gonna get to the bulk of them, which happen at her workplace.
Right, right. But even this sister too, though, the Junie's sister,
the BFF.
Again, it was one of those things where like, I get her reaction to the relationship. I get why she was so angry. Mm-hmm. I did not see the point by the end where, like, the friendship was ruined between her and Jinna. Yeah. Which I don't see why that would be the case. Like you knew her mother, you grew up with her mother. And yeah, that was a horrific thing that happened in the living room with the mother basically saying all those horrible things to your face. Yeah. Whether you knew them or not. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't think the sister did not know some of the mother's thoughts of the family. I think that was her maybe blissfully thinking that wasn't the case, because you grew up with the family. You've had to have known what her mother was like. Right. And so I didn't understand why the friendship was so in tatters after the 2-year time jump. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's just how I run my own friendships. Like, maybe I've never had like my best friend date my sibling or something, but it was just like, I didn't understand why Jinna having that relationship with the brother was so detrimental to all of the relationships, including her friends, including her workplace. And like, I just didn't understand why the writer took it that route. Like, why was it so scandalous? She literally had no support system due to a relationship that I don't even think lasted a year, 6 months.
No,
like,
I don't think so.
Like
either.
it was just, I didn't understand that at all. I mean, and it did show some signs of healing, except for the one relationship that lasted was the one she went and stayed in Jeju Island. It was like, that was the one person.
Which that started off, that was a whole nother thing, because that coworker was really mean and like kind of looked down on her because of the way she comported herself at work, and especially like company dinners and stuff like that.
Right.
Then there was like a 180, and she was very supportive. She was the most supportive out of like the entire cast of her relationship with Junie, and she ends up being like the new best friend.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, like, and I felt bad for both of them. I felt bad for his sister because you could tell, like, she didn't want the relationship and the friendship to end, but she couldn't go get past some stuff. And again, it was a horrible situation that the mother said to her, and I understand why she didn't want to. She cut ties with that family, but I felt it got taken too far. Like, the writer took it too far. In terms of the connections and even the obstacles, which we can talk about later. I felt like this writer just threw obstacle after obstacle after obstacle at this couple. Like, and some, again, as I said way early on, like, some were foreseen and I predicted, and some were just like, come on, like, seriously. So, yeah.
The mom character is really just the big bad of this whole show.
Right.
She never learns from her mistakes.
Right.
And she doesn't change. And I think that's even more frustrating because we come from knowing so many romance genre K-dramas that have reconciliation at the forefront at the end of the show.
Right.
And this is not redemptive, and this is not a reconciliation between family members when there was so much damage done.
Right. Granted, if they would have given her a redemption arc, I would have hated it even more, honestly.
Oh, same. I'm a fan of not redeeming characters. Like, just let them be bad. But I have this quote here from episode 11, and it's when Junie sends Jinna away, and the mom, the ball's on her. She shows up at Junie's house and she comes inside and she gives him this whole speech and slaps him clean across the face. The rudest bitch I've ever seen in K-drama.
Yes.
But she says, I have high standards for people, right? You don't meet my standards. I know that people call someone like me a snob and even accuse them of using their children to get what they want. I don't care what they say. Why? Because I'm being like that for my children. Every parent wants the best for their children, not anything less than that. In my opinion, no parent would compromise their standards unless they have no choice to.
Yeah. that literally sums up her character.
That's her entire character in a nutshell. She's unforgiving, unrelenting, and she thinks she's right, and that's the biggest problem with her. She's not open for discussion.
Right.
So we talked about the dad. Did we want to talk about kind of some of I think the big problem with their relationship, their romantic relationship between Jinna and Junie? And one of them is she consistently has a communication problem.
Yes.
Will not tell him the truth if it is bad news.
Yeah. They both do, though.
It
wasn't just her, but yes, it was.
She was
primarily
keeping
her
stuff like, I'm going on a blind date to appease my mother. Doesn't tell Junie. It blows up in her face. She says, I'm going to meet with his dad secretly because I know he's very sensitive about his dad. And that blows up in her face too.
Yes.
I don't think she should have done either things. I think she should have taken a page out of her mother's book and not given an inch, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's my opinion. That's me personally as well. Like, no, I'm not going to do something that is going to compromise my morals, compromise my relationship. Meeting the dad secretly was such a sin to me. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I know we already said this reconciliation being a huge priority for Koreans and K-drama in general, but the way that Junhee feels about his dad is very understandable coming from a Western mindset. Like, he is pissed off. He's unforgiving. His dad abandoned them in Korea. He's completely dismissive of them. He's disinterested in their lives, never calls, never checks in. And like, why should the dad get to dictate when they can even talk? Why is he suddenly so interested in his kids? He seems to not care. Also, this is like a side note, he doesn't seem to care about his daughter at all.
Right.
He only asks after Junhee. He's not interested in the catharsis and the venting process that the daughter seeks, the BFF. He doesn't care about her trauma. He doesn't care about her pain. And Jinna knows all of this.
Right.
And still she decides, I'm going to meet the dad.
Right.
I should give him a chance. I should hear what he has to say. I'll tell him all about his kids, whatever he wants to know.
Right. Yeah.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating because also she has this moment to say sorry, to hear Junhee out, because she's never heard his side of the story, never heard why he doesn't want anything to do with his dad. They've never talked about it. And in the rooftop conversation, he tells her that she had no right to create this problem he never had before. He was blissfully ignorant of parents in general. Like, his life was, he considered his dad a total stranger for the bulk of his life. And here she comes on her high horse, unilaterally deciding what's best for him, trying to patch up a messy, painful relationship between him and his dad. And ultimately, she belittles his feelings, his anger, and tells him not to be a kid. You know, don't be basically grow up.
Right.
And to cut his dad some slack, because it's his dad after all. Like, that's supposed to forgive everything.
Right.
And he's like, nah, man, I'm not going to cut him some slack. Why do I have to consider his feelings, his position to me? And he says that her meddling made him seem immature. And she takes the entire conversation completely the wrong way. She considers the conversation an offense to her and plays the victim.
Right.
And storms off and like leaves the whole conversation unfinished. Never once does she empathize with him and think he's got a right to feel the way he does.
Right. Yeah.
Which I feel like is such a blow, such a problem for their relationship.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree. I found she was the child, even though she was the older character and the older person. Even before this whole thing, like, she was always the child. He was more the mature one. And that might be because he had to grow up fast. He had, like, yeah, he had a sister who was older and who was taking care of him. But, I mean, his character was like, I also need to take care of my sister. I need to make decisions. I need to, like, not tell her things that's going on because I don't want to worry her. Like, his character was that type of character.
Very responsible.
Jinna, whether, even though you said earlier on that this like, this is one of the reasons why I hated the writers in the second half of this drama, is because they did this really nice arc where her relationship with Junhee changed her character. She got more confident. She got more, not abrasive isn't the right word, but like more
assertive.
There you go. But the only person she couldn't be assertive with or confident with was him, which was like, just was like, I couldn't understand that, especially with this scene that you were just describing. It was like, girl, like, just because he called you out on your bullshit, on the fact that, like, he was absolutely in the right to be mad at you about this, and you literally just made it me because you didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to realize that you had made this huge mistake, and the fact that you were having somebody call you out on it, you decided to be like, no, you're the child, and you ran away and you just played the age card. And it was like, And you knew immediately she regretted. Like, she stopped at the bottom of the building.
She wanted him to follow her.
Yeah, and he did.
How childish is that? Yeah, he never got,
He never got, like, that far. But it was just, like, it was one of those things where it's, like, when I said earlier, it was, like, the writers threw obstacle after obstacle at this person. Like, there was no point to that argument, honestly. I did not feel why they brought the father in the first place. Because again, it's like you said, why did he want this connection with them after so many years? They never explained why. They brought him in, they created all this drama, whether it was the couple drama, whether it was the mother yelling at the daughter after finding her father, the daughter, the best friend the best friend's daughter's father, the one who like has been absent, gets drunk in their living room, and that caused the entire argument to go about. And caused Jinna to break up with the guy. It's like his whole entire presence in this drama was never explained why he came. Like, I thought he was like dying of cancer or something and needed to like come and say his final goodbyes or something. But then he kind of just like left. He was like
what did he say? He was like, yeah, if we see each other again, let's greet each other with like happiness. And then like he was like peace and like dipped.
He was like, my kids are okay without me. I'm gonna go and take care of my other family that I have. Like, he was completely married and had more kids. It was I felt like he was not needed whatsoever, and the writers just brought him in as a catalyst for them to break up. Like, to be the first breakup or whatever. It was just like, it was not needed whatsoever at all.
I agree with you. And if you cut that out completely, we'd probably be at 12 episodes, and that would have been fine with me.
But even before that, like, you could still have gotten 16 episodes without his character.
You're absolutely right.
Because
you're absolutely right.
If we go back to what we were saying, Jinna is a child throughout this entire drama. Like, it turned into the father coming, destroying and breaking them up, and then causing that whole rift between them because she didn't understand why he was so angry that she secretly met him or whatever. Then, of course, she like had something come up with work and didn't want to tell him. He had something come up with work and didn't want to tell her. He decided that he was going to make decisions for her and make her move to the US with him.
That was
like,
okay.
It was like, even without the father, everything else that happened in the last 6 episodes of this, it's still enough. It was still enough. It was like, and then even coming back, like, even after the time jump, it's like it was opposite. Like, she was still the child, but he was also the child coming back. It was like, that was what angered me the most about this, which is why it was what surprised me, was because it was like,
they didn't learn.
I knew the mother was bad. I knew the boyfriend would be bad, but I have thoughts about the boyfriend.
Well, we'll hit him next.
But like, yeah, they were still, there was no growth between them. There was no, like, even with the time jump, even with her having that personal growth with their relationship, she didn't grow with him. She didn't, like, their relationship did not solidify it. Yeah. And I was so mad at that because it was like, there was like, what was the point of the relationship if they weren't going to grow together? Like,
to counter that, I would say that it feels a little bit realistic that after this end-all be-all relationship that's like they're each other's love of their lives, and then they break up really nasty, and a few years later they haven't gotten anywhere. They're kind of falling into old bad habits, and they feel listless, and yes, they've stagnated. So I kind of feel like that's also pretty believable, even if it's not at all satisfying for the audience who has seen them grow and seen them change and kind of work through their own complexes a little bit. And then all of a sudden they've lost all that progress.
Yeah. I did understand, though, when Jinna explained in the last 2 episodes, like, the reason why I went back to my old habits, whether that was dating or living with my mother again or whatever. She was punishing herself, and it was totally true. Like, she hated how that relationship ended before the 2-year time jump. She hated that she lost everybody, and whether it was true that she was the main cause of it or not, she was punishing herself, and that's very true. So I did I liked that part, honestly. I don't know why I liked that part, but
you like the part that she's miserable because she made herself miserable to
exactly.
as penance for this like terrible thing that she did.
I guess so, yeah.
That's dark, but that's okay. Let's talk about the asshole boyfriend who I didn't think would crop up that much. Instead, he does go out with a bang. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that. What were your thoughts on that ex-boyfriend that was not dying?
Well, first off, I have to contradict you on your statement that he went off with a bang. I didn't think he went anywhere. Like,
so
he kind of fell off the map.
When I say the ex-boyfriend went out with a bang, I just mean I didn't expect him to kidnap her and hold her hostage in a vehicle, in a moving vehicle over a cell phone. So it was like, oh my God. It
definitely escalated to somewhere I did not see coming. But also there was no satisfactory ending to his character either. Because I think the mother took over. I think the writer decided the mother was going to be the bigger bad in the drama and kind of just dropped him where he was. Which wasn't satisfying for me because I wanted to at least see I either wanted two satisfactory endings with their relationship. One was he get arrested and she have the balls to, like, actually report him to the police.
Yes, I wanted that too. Yeah.
Or have the mother realize how crappy he was. And, like, because their entire relationship, she was like, he's a great guy. I want you to marry him. He's everything I asked you for. And, you know,
they could have fixed it very easily because the ex-boyfriend calls the dad.
Right.
Jinna's dad, and says, hey, let's go out for drinks. And at that meeting, he's an asshole to the dad and demands that the dad apologize to him because he feels wronged because he feels Jinna was also cheating on him at the same time that he was cheating on her, which wasn't true.
Right.
But at the same, it's the perception that's going on in this whole show about victim blaming, which is also like a whole thing that we'll talk about in the workplace drama. If they had replaced the dad with the mom and had the mom go meet the boyfriend or cook something for the boyfriend at the house, and he demand again that they apologize to him for Jinna's behavior, which wasn't even an issue, I feel like we would have had a huge blowout fight where maybe the mom sticks up for Jinna and puts him in his place and realizes that he is terrible.
Right. I mean, even you'd think they gave the first out where it was revealed in front of him that he was cheating on her. And it was like, I was just like, come on, mom. Like, the father had the best reaction ever.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's not true. Like, there's no way, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, come on.
Blames her. Like, why can't you keep hold of your man?
Exactly. Which, again, was to the T her character.
Oh.
But it was just like, yeah, he was. And it says, I mean, again, I'll say it again. It says a lot when you prefer him over the mother. Like, it was like, but it definitely took his story and his impact on Jinna's relationship, life, in general, took a much darker impact than what I thought it would go. Mm-hmm. And that kind of just also speaks to his character's mentality of, I think him and the mother are kind of two peas in a pod in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, with their thinking, especially with like family prestige and like I'm a catch with anybody. I don't have to be, because of my background, because of my degree, because everything, I don't have to have the winning personality because my background speaks for itself.
Right.
Yeah. And he definitely doesn't have a winning personality, like not at all.
Oh, it's lousy. Like, this just, oh God. It would have been even crazier if at the end, instead of having another skeezy boyfriend, she has the same skeezy boyfriend that cheated on her and kidnapped her and all the rest. And you're just like, whoa, like what?
Yes.
It would have been even worse, I feel.
Yeah. I thought it, like, honestly, after the coffee store confrontation.
Yes, because he's he sexually what's it called? Assaulted her.
Yeah, sexually assaulted her. And I thought that was like gonna be it. I thought
Yes.
that was, and then of course,
Same.
as you said, it became this whole kidnapping thing, which speaks again to why Jinna made that decision to get in the car with him. Like, I don't understand why, after he sexually assaulted you,
why would you get in the car?
Why would you get in the car? Why would you get in the car? Why would you not tell anybody you're going anywhere?
Oh my God.
Like,
she's just
I
stupid.
understand,
Like, at that point,
yeah.
it's just stupid.
I understand if you don't want to report the guy. A lot of sexual assault victims don't
Right.
report, whatever. Like, that's their own decision.
But
that's
there's
their
a
own
small
thing.
crew
But, like,
of people that know what happened. Like the brother
Right.
knew,
Exactly.
Ginny knew, the BFF knew. Like any of these people could have known at least where she was going.
Yeah. And like the whole phone thing in general. Like, why not get a new phone? Like,
That's what I said too.
Why go through this whole
get a new
drama of
phone.
not getting a new phone? Like, yeah,
She wanted to
you
transfer the name of the phone or whatever, the plan to her
and
name.
it was, I mean, again, it was one of those things where like there's this law there that like obviously doesn't exist here, so it might be some cultural stuff, which was so crappy to put her in that situation that she had to contact her abusive ex-boyfriend to get her phone changed.
Ugh.
But it was just like, okay, if you have to do that due to a law, totally fine. Take somebody with you.
Yes.
Like, let somebody know you're going somewhere. Like,
she kept it a secret.
yeah, it was just, I don't understand that. Like, I understand, like, okay, you had to go see him due to this phone, but why the heck did you see him at night? Not telling anybody with a broken phone in general.
And she had no phone. Like, what
it's just like, I did not understand that whole,
Same.
that whole thing.
And that's what I mean by she keeps making the worst decisions and her decision making gets worse progressively throughout the show.
Right.
And you think that's pretty bad. Like, oh yeah, she like got in the car with her crazy ex.
Right. Yeah.
It gets worse.
Yeah, but no, I mean, he was like, it, even before the whole sexual assault kidnapping thing, he was horrible before that. Like, it was just like, he had an ego, he was a narcissist, he couldn't say, like, hear no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you knew it was leading up to something. I did not interpret what it led up to, but like, he could not take no as an answer.
Mm-hmm.
And he could not believe that he, being the narcissist that he was being broken up with. I mean, it was not like something he would fathom.
And the fact that she had another man was like, it made him fly off the handle.
Yes. Yeah.
It was toxic masculinity at its best.
Right.
Or worst. Okay, so that's the crazy ex-boyfriend. Let's go to workplace sexual harassment and the victim shaming. And I think this might wrap up our discussion of Something in the Rain. Where do I begin here? Because victim shaming is a huge theme in this show.
Right.
Every one of her female coworkers and her BFF, her mom, even Ginny to a certain extent, they all blame her for the behavior of other problematic men around her.
Right.
Like, why did you do this? This, you know, you gave him an opening. You did this wrong. And, you know, why did you not shut it down with your ex-boyfriend all the way? This is why he thinks he can do this to you. And so on and so forth. The list goes on of certain examples. And her male bosses being so handsy, sexually harassing her within the workplace, and not just her, basically every female in the workplace was being sexually harassed. It's tough. I think it's tough because tough as an audience member, I should say.
Right.
Because you can see that you can see their struggle, you can see their argument for not speaking up.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it becomes so hard and near impossible for them to get not just an apology. Like, apology is like the basic, like, response.
Right.
You did me wrong. I want an apology. No. Jinna's argument was, I want an apology in front of everyone, and I want the reason why you're apologizing to me, all the details disclosed.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't want any form of monetary compensation. I don't want a promotion. I don't want anything else. I just want the truth. to be out there. That was her personal stipulation for coming forward. And still, they could not provide that to her.
Right.
The company went behind her back.
Mm-hmm.
And, behind closed doors, the owner and her assailants were basically plotting to turn this whole thing around so that they didn't have to do any basically PR cleanup.
Right. Which drove me nuts. It was like
drove me nuts as well.
Especially with the owner.
Yeah.
The owner up until that point was
the owner was very supportive.
You thought he was an ally. And then he realized that like she could sue him. She could like get them in trouble. PR would look bad.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah. But I have to say, props to this drama in general, though, on like having this in their drama in the first place. And it's a little more prevalent. I have seen it like in the coming years. There have been some dramas that have touched on this, but given that this drama came out in 2018, if I had watched this in 2018, I think it would have been one of the first I've seen where it did have a major storyline.
It was major
of sexual harassment and possibly sexual assault. They never said, but like especially sexual harassment in a workplace, because it is an issue in whatever country you're in. There's sexual harassment, sexual assault, whatever in the workplace is an issue in whatever country, and even gender too. Mostly obviously it is women, but there are men that have to go about it, or just harassment for men in general. So I applaud the drama for using their platform to bring this to the forefront and have a discussion and show how detrimental it can be to somebody's career if they choose to fight back, to people's psyche, whether that is Jinnah or it's other people. Like I couldn't hate I wouldn't even call her a friend. Like I guess it was a friend coworker, the redhead.
Oh, the one that was like trying to get ahead. And
she like used it, like she was manipulated by one of the assailants to get information and kind of be the spy among the women because he promised her a promotion. And
yes,
I was really mad that she decided to do that, but at the same time, like she was manipulated into doing that. Like I didn't understand why she chose to do that, because she knew the guy was guilty. Like she would have been she was sexually harassed herself.
Yeah.
And then I felt so bad when she didn't get that promotion, because obviously that was never going to happen. But
it's brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's like you don't know what you're going to make, like what decisions you're going to make when you're in that situation, whether either you're the victim or you're somebody who's being manipulated to be a spy, whatever.
Yes. And that's exactly why I was way more sympathetic to this storyline and to these characters that kind of turned bad in the latter half of the show. Versus when I first watched this show, because now I have a little more experience under my belt, and it's hard to describe like how I admire Jinnah, and then I also think that she should have just left the situation.
Right. Yeah.
Whether it was by moving to the US with Junhee or just leaving.
I'm really glad she did not move.
At first I was pissed, but I don't think it was the right decision to move all the way to the States with Junhee.
I mean, that was a total manipulation of Junhee. I did not like the fact that
Junhee was trying to fix her problem without her knowing.
Fix her problem.
Without her
knowing.
Come,
marry him. Like, I didn't think that was the best decision for him, which was another reason why I hated the writers in the second half of this. It's just like, it was so uncharacteristic of him to go through that and kind of make this decision for her. And yes, it was in the best, he was trying to do a good thing. He did not go about doing it very well. And so I was very happy that she decided to break off the relationship and kind of try and go at it and find herself without the crutch of the relationship. And that was not, in the long run, you obviously, as we said earlier, like it was a mistake and she was stagnant and she went back to some of her old ways, but like, that was also kind of her character growth that needed to happen. She needed to make that decision to break off the relationship. But But yeah, I know that's nothing to do with the work harassment. But I had to say that, like, I was really glad that she broke that off.
For the work harassment, it was beyond frustrating.
Yeah.
It was like, it made my blood boil, the whole sexual harassment storyline and the way that it resolved or didn't resolve, because I don't think that it did resolve. It did resolve,
but we didn't see the outcome on screen. It happened in like the time jump.
Yeah.
And then everybody just said it, which I was also angry at too. I was like, okay, I have to remember what name they're saying with whose face and type thing.
Yeah.
And I also felt bad for the woman boss. Like,
oh my God.
She was like a really nice character. She was an ally. She was like,
she was very fierce in the workplace. Fierce. And she gave very little leeway for the male bosses and executives. And she was definitely an advocate for all of the female employees.
Right.
And when she is basically told to stop being what did the owner say? He was like, I didn't hire you and put you in this position to be on the female workers' side.
Right. I was
you're on the company's side.
Yeah. I was like, okay, you made her get information from all these women on the harassment. What side do you expect her to be on? She's a woman herself.
I know. Like, he's like discounting her own experience. And
she had some. Like,
she was
one of the older women. She was in more of an executive position. God knows what she had to go through to get to that executive position. It was like, you want this feedback from employees, but you don't want her feedback. And maybe he didn't want her feedback because he knew that she had probably the most feedback because she had been there the longest, maybe. I don't know. But like,
everything she did was for the benefit of the female employees. Yeah. And that struck such a chord with me because they had no one else.
Right. Yeah.
All they had was this female executive. And honestly, I think she was just like the marketing director. Like, she was not involved in HR in any way, which, do they have HR in Korea? I don't know. Like, what?
Right.
Why was HR not involved? This was very like minute.
I also did like the fact that I did like Jinna's part in it. As I said, I liked
she took a stand.
I liked that she took a stand and she didn't back down. Even if other people wanted to back down. Yeah. And she was totally fine going at it alone with nobody else. And I don't think, like, some people I saw on Twitter after, like, finishing it, some people's interpretation is, like, she got to a point in this whole ordeal, she felt she couldn't let it go, whether she wanted to or not. I didn't interpret it that way. I thought, like, it was, like, one of those things where she needed to finish it for herself to like end that story arc, but also she needed to show that she had changed and she had grown and she wasn't that meek, like, coworker person she was before she started dating Junie. Like, I think she did it more for herself, and I liked that. I like that she didn't drop, or we didn't find out, like, after the 2-year time jump that nothing happened and she dropped the whole thing.
Yeah, she stuck to her guns. And again, I feel conflicted because I want her to see it through. And then I also want her to quit the toxic environment because even in the time jump, you see that really the company culture is the same.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing has changed. So like, it's, you can get out, like, you can quit, just like she does at the end of the show. So I feel like quitting is also quitting this job, I should say, not the whole sexual harassment fight.
Right.
That quitting the job and this company as a whole is a form of self-care.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah.
And then you see that in the final episode, but you don't want her to waste all this time.
Right. Yeah.
Especially
with the tactics that the assailants pulled on her. Like, it was like
doctoring evidence.
Yeah, doctoring evidence, the guy was a real lawyer, but like bringing a lawyer to confront her in a coffee shop. Yeah. Which she called them out on. It was like, why are we doing this here? But it was like, the guys knew they were in trouble. Even without the woman executive spy.
Yeah.
They were going to get caught either way. Like, they did not have to, she didn't have to put that spy out. She was going to get her hands on whatever video they got or messages eventually. It happened quicker because she, like, blackmailed the one male coworker, which was fine. But, like, the amount of, I don't know. I don't know what they could have done to, like, make them, like, you do not have any sympathy for these people. Like, no matter what manipulations or what they say to Jinna when they're trying to plead their case, like, you do not have any sympathy to them.
Zero.
And it's like, and the funny thing is like, you think when we were talking about these assailants, they're all like executive CEO level. No, these are people who
general managers, her own boss. It wasn't even like a really high up position. It's not a VP, not a chairman.
Like, they're not rich. They're not a chaebol. They don't have secret money somewhere that can change everything. Yeah. It's like, so you have no sympathy for these people, which they don't deserve. At the end,
they don't deserve it. And like, the show does such a great job of showing that even though they understand just by watching footage of what they've done that they were wrong, they are more concerned with the female's reaction,
right,
and their behavior toward their advances and what they're demanding as a result of the abuse and the harassment. They're like, why are you doing this to me?
Right. Yeah. And then her boss's reaction too, like, not reaction, like, it also shows how out of touch they are, because he was like, oh, I got these women on my side. I got them. Like, I'm just like, how, like, in what way, what interpretation of that conversation gave you the idea that they would ever support you in this, or like support you in going against Jinna, or even
they
Jinna
don't
himself.
Even see the power dynamics at play and how threatening they are.
Right. Yeah.
They're just like, oh yeah, I got all these ladies on my side. Like, it's going to be a shoe-in. I'm going to win.
Right. And I think that was done beautifully with the drama, because there is a huge hierarchical thing we see in a lot of K-dramas. I think that's just society in general. Even the workplace here in the US, you have a hierarchy system where it's a boss, whatever. I think the drama does very well is, like, you can be an executive, you can be a manager, you can be a coworker. That does not give you the right to do any of this stuff and get away with it. And yeah, we didn't get to see that play out on screen. It kind of just was told us that this happened and this was the result. But I think they handled that very well, because they never portrayed it as like they were going to get away with it. They never portrayed it as like, yeah, but in this situation, it might have not have been. Like, it was clear, black and white. She was in the right. They were in the right for taking this how far they did, and these assailants were bad, disgusting people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's telling that Jinna never wanted their dismissal, never wanted them to get fired. She was like, no, I just want an apology and for everyone to know. Like, I want the truth to be out.
Right.
And it mattered more that their reputation was tarnished versus their livelihood stripped of them.
Right. Yeah.
And I felt like that was very powerful of her. She knew what was more important, more costly to them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that these people, obviously, one of the first things that they said out of their mouth when they realized that it wasn't going away was like, think of my kids, think of my wife, think of
I have 3 daughters.
Yeah.
What are people going to think of me? And it's like, well, you should have thought of that before you did this. And what if your daughter went through the same thing that I went through?
Right.
What would you say then?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Ugh, it was great. I think they handled it delicately.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was very in your face and very unapologetic in the writing and the portrayal. And it was tough. It was tough to watch.
I do wish, though, that somebody in Jinna's family other than her coworkers knew about the whole situation. Because I don't even think she told Junhee the real story. Like,
right.
I know he got, just from dating her, he understood some things were going on, and he got stories from, I can't remember the name of the coworker she ended living up with in the end on Jeju, but like, obviously got some stories from her as well. I wish somebody in her family knew about it. Like, even if the brother knew. Because I feel like that's another thing where she had to kind of go at it alone. And whether that was a coworker or it was a friend, like, her friend didn't even know about it. Like, the friend that she grew up with, Junhee's sister.
Yeah.
Like, no one knew except for the coworkers. And she didn't really know if she could trust her coworkers because she was the only one actually bringing charges about. So that was the one thing I really wished had happened, either. And I don't really know what that whoever she had told or had found out if what they could do in that situation to support her, but to give her that outlet of, because even with like the thing, like with the writer on, like, she literally, the writer stripped Jinna of every relationship she had by the end of this drama, included the workplace. Like, she got moved because of this thing to a whole other building part of the city,
in Paju or something. And she got isolated.
Yeah, got isolated in all aspects of her life. And I think that was just like, and maybe that was just because I'm talking, like, I have a very supportive family no matter what I do. So like, if I had told somebody in my family that this was going on, but I'm like, I got it, I'm suing them, I'm doing all this stuff, I just need somebody that I can come and vent to, blah, blah, or like attend court with me or whatever I was gonna do. It's just like, I feel like, again, that was kind of one of the bad decisions she made. She made the decision to not tell anybody and have that venting. Maybe she thought because she would have a coworker support system. I don't know, but like, and maybe
I don't even think she counted on that. But I understand completely where you're coming from. And if it were me, I would probably be telling my family the same thing because I have a wonderful family. I have a very supportive system. In her case, in this space where she's in, I completely support that she didn't tell her parents because they were so terrible with handling every other aspect of her life, especially the most important one, which was her relationship with Junhee.
Yeah. You could definitely predict her mom's reaction. She would have been like, suck it up, and
it would have been
even
it would have been even more victim blaming.
Right.
You know, something she didn't need at all.
Yeah.
So I completely understand where she was coming from, that she didn't tell her parents, didn't tell her friends, didn't tell her brother. Her brother's like kind of clueless at the time. I don't know how he bagged that lady at the end of the at the end of the show. But like, I feel bad because she was isolated, and then she also isolated herself.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the real ally she really had was that woman executive. But that woman executive also was trying to be impartial and was not trying to, because that would have been detrimental to Jinna's case if like, you knew she was an ally, you knew she wanted to support her, but there was only so much she could do. So
and you can see that you saw that at the very end. And
I really wish she had just found somebody to. And I don't think Junhee would have been the right choice either.
Nope.
So I don't really know who this person would be, but like, I wish somebody had been there.
I think it ended up being BFF number 2, who used to be her coworker and moved out to Jeju.
Yeah.
That lady turned out to be such a great friend and partner for her.
Right.
And it's unclear when she quit Coffee Bay and started out on her own in Jeju with her restaurant and like all that stuff. But presumably they've grown close because of all of the stuff that she entrusted to her. All of this info, her relationship with Junhee was also with her. And the sexual harassment, no one else knew the extent and the experience.
Right.
For only this lady, the Jeju Island BFF.
Right.
So I kind of appreciated that she took over as BFF duties and also as a confidant for all of the issues that were ongoing during the time jump.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing I'll say about Coffee Babe, the tagline was roasting one dream at a time. And I'll leave it at that. Like, that says all there is about the company. Roasting one dream at a time. Anyway, is there anything else you would like to say about Something in the Rain? This was such a great conversation, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I had a lot of fun doing it as well. I do want to mention going back to like the very end when, well, not the very end, when after like the first scene you see them together after the 2-year time jump, when he sees her on the stairs with the guy again. I was not expecting that. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting, like, as I said earlier, like, I understood why she did that, because she said it herself. She explained it herself. But I was not expecting to see her in that position again, and obviously he was not either. But again, it was like one of those things where... So, by the end of this drama, I felt like I couldn't enjoy the romance by the end.
Yes,
like,
I agree with that.
I was happy that they kind of found that yellow umbrella at the end, but at the same time, I couldn't help but think, what has changed?
They missed it.
What has changed in, like, what has gone away that if you do pursue this romance, how are you going to succeed? How are you going to be happy when nothing from your old obstacles has changed? Like, the mother's still around. The mother did not die or something. You, like, the brother still has the sister, which I can foresee happening. Like, there's nothing in the circumstances that caused them to break up the first time that changed for them to do that. So, and I think that also is, like, when I said that the writers threw too many obstacles at this couple, I couldn't enjoy the fact that they were together by the end. Which
I agree. It's what you wanted, but like, at what cost?
Right,
know?
Exactly.
It's bittersweet because it is what you want. You want them to be there together. You know they're magical together. But, you know, once push comes to shove, like, what are they going to do? It's the same push from before.
Exactly. And I mean, when we said the mother didn't change, even, like, when she announced that she had broken up with her second horrible boyfriend, quit her job, was moving to Jeju, like, the mother had the most predictable reaction to that statement because of her history throughout the show. Like, she was just like, what the hell? What are you doing? Like, you're destroying what I thought you would be doing. And, like, why are you moving to Jeju? And, like, at least the father had somewhat of a sensible parental question of, like, are you sure?
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, it's just like the mother is still going to be a problem. There's nothing. So yeah, that was one of just the final thing I wanted to say is, like, I just really could not enjoy them getting back together because of all these stupid obstacles the writers threw at them, whether it's their own decisions, whether it was one too many characters that was brought into the drama or one too many, like, miscommunications. I couldn't enjoy the fact that they got together by the end because
you were just as exhausted as they were.
Exactly.
You're like, oh my God.
And I just was like, oh, poor babies. They're going to have to go through all that exhaustion again if they decide to pursue this.
Yeah, it's left up to the audience, basically, to you interpret them to have a nice, successful love story and they lived happily ever after or not. I want to say that they did. Like, personally, my own like hopeless romantic, I want them to be successful. I want them to overcome. Maybe they just move out together and get married and, like, elope.
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
Or they just succumb to the same old problems that they had before and they never make it. I don't know what it is.
Right.
But
yeah,
it's left up to the audience. And I kind of like those stories that leave it up to the audience for what happened. What is the final period on this? I found this show to be such a rich text, even on second watch. And that is a major plus for me because I don't like when it's too predictable. I don't like when it falls into too many tropes and XYZ, so on and so forth. But this show is not for everybody.
Right. Yes.
In a nutshell, the show is not for everybody. And if you've made it this far and you haven't watched Something in the Rain, you've been spoiled to bits. I would recommend the show. Like, even if it's not for everybody, if you're at all intrigued or if you're at all like impressed by what you've heard, like, I'd give it a go.
I would not.
And Caitlin would not. All right. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for coming on the show. You are actually the first guest that Daebak has ever had on the show before. I don't know when these will be released, like the release schedule, but I want everyone to know that Caitlin was a wonderful guest with me, and I hope that she will come back for more if it haven't scared you off yet. Like, what is this, almost 2 hours of like podcasting? But before we get out of here, where can we find you online, Caitlin?
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, first off, I would love to come back. I had a lot of fun. I mean, as you said before, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I have my own like little blog website thing.
Don't undersell it. Like you do. You're a blogger, you're a reviewer in your own right. It's no sleep for the number 4 dramas.com.
Yes. And then that's the same. No sleep number 4 dramas is the same for the Instagram, as well as I think my Twitter has a 2 because my Twitter has that same, but it has like a 2 at the end. It, like, if you use the @ symbol, it's like @ no sleep for dramas number 2.
Okay. Yeah, so definitely check out Caitlin online and say hi. No sleep for dramas. Thank you again, Caitlin. I really appreciate you coming on. And that's our show. I'm Jessica, and this has been the ATC Presents Daebak K-Rambles podcast.